Hey divas, my name is Rodsi and I'm 19 years old from Australia, if you cannot tell from my accent. And this is my channel, I guess, first video. I wanted to start a channel for a while now. I just haven't had the time, couldn't be bothered. But then I thought, why not start? Because it's no time like the present, I guess. This isn't going to be book channel per se, but I do love books, as you can tell. I'm a big book reader. Actually, I kind of fell off since year 12. Before year 12, I was reading like 100 books a year. Year 12 kind of fell off. I read like 5. And ever since then, it's just been steadily increasing. But I thought I'm gonna just try and get back into reading a little bit more. And my first book I thought I would pick back up is We Were Liars. So if you don't know, there's a show for We Were Liars which just came out. And I really want to watch it because the casting, I mean, I haven't read the book, so I don't know, but the casting is incredible. And I was watching all of their interviews and I love the cast. They have like such good chemistry with each other. So I really want to watch the show, but the book reader in me will not let me watch a show without reading the book first. So that's what we're gonna do today. So We Were Liars is a mystery book set on a summer island in the northwest of America. It's by eeek, and that's all I know about it. I know that there's a big plot twist at the end. I don't know what. Thankfully, I survived spoilers. I don't know how, because We Were Liars was huge back in the day in book talk. So I'm very shocked that I survived 5 years without getting any spoilers. That's why I'm reading it now, because I don't want any spoilers. I remember people being gagged about the ending back in the day, so I really want to find out for myself. The book is very short though. It's like 200 and something pages, so I reckon I can finish it today. Let's pray we can finish it today, because I really want to watch the show. And then I might do a little show reaction at the end as well. So let's get started. So I'm just gonna do a little check-in, what I know so far. We have Cadence, Gat, Johnny, and Mirren. And then we have like their mums, and we found out a little bit about Cadence's like history kind of. And like right now we're just seeing how the group formed, the Liars. The writing is like very YA, definitely. It's very easy to read. It's a little cringe at times. Not really cringe, it's just like very young at times. I would have ate this up when I was like 13. But it's still good. But, you know, not too bad. I'm on chapter 5. The chapters are very short. At first, I saw 81 chapters and I was like, what's going on? The book is only 240 pages. But the chapters are really short, so yeah. Gat and Cadence. I'm low-key sensing chemistry between them. And their first interaction when they meet is so cute. So I'm sensing a little childhood romance, but we'll see. Okay, I'm gonna try and get this before the sunlight goes away. Why is the sun setting at literally 5 p.m? Why is it getting dark? Why is it so cold? I'm just not built for winter, man. But anyways, I just finished part 1. I'm starting part 2, Vermont. Thoughts on part 1. Got some information on the family dynamics. I don't know how to feel like about the Liars yet. I don't know. And obviously Cadence doesn't remember anything, so like we just know where she ends up. But I don't know, there's just something sus. I don't trust the grandpa. Like, he just gives sus vibes. Also, he was low-key racist to Gat, who poor Gat. And I know that like, because at the end Gat didn't contact her after the accident, so she's a bit like, what's going on? But I just feel like there's something else going on behind the surface, because the grandpa was just like very microaggression towards Gat. So yeah, I'm not really sure how to feel. Cadence's mum, Cadence's mum just wants Cadence to repress everything. Like, girl, let her feel, which is 15. Like, ugh, I don't understand. But yeah, part 2, I'm not really sure because she hasn't talked to her cousins and Gat in a while, and Johnny and Mirren haven't replied, so I don't really know. Like, I don't know what their role is in the accident. I don't know if they have a role in the accident. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see. One last thing before I get to part 2. The writing kind of like throws me for a loop in some points because she uses a lot of metaphors, but sometimes they're used like so out of the blue that I just think that's what's happening. She's like, oh, my dad shot me with a gun, and I'm like, what? And then she's talking like bleeding. I was like, what the heck? Her dad shot her? It was a freaking metaphor because she was hurt. And I don't know if that's just me problem because I haven't read it in a while. But like, I think the metaphors in this book are just very like out of the blue, catch me out a little bit. But you know, I'm enjoying it, so. Okay, so it's a little bit later. I just finished part 2. Not much else was revealed. She's getting these headaches after the accident, and also Mirren has a brother who they took out in the show. I saw it in an interview, which is so sad because we just got the first scene of him, and he's such a cutie, and he reminds me of my little brother, and he reminds me of Austin in Ginny and Georgia. So I'm really sad that they took him out. She's back in Beechwood, so we'll see if anything sparks a memory. Her granddad is speaking in weird riddles. And yeah, she's dyed her hair black. So we'll see. Hey guys, so update. I finished part 3 and 4. They were the longer parts, so it took me a little while to get through it. It's been actually 2 days. I finished them a while ago, but I've been busy because I was watching Motorheads on Prime, if you know, you know, and it was too good to put down. So I finished part 3 and 4 and I just kind of left it for a bit. But I'll recap what my thoughts were. So part 3 and 4 are very similar. We don't really find out too much. There's like flashbacks of summer 16 and the current summer, but there's not too much going on. Just everyone's acting sus. Like, everybody is acting sus, even Gat and the liars. And I was like, what is going on? Because everybody's acting sus except for Cadence, because obviously we're in her mind. But the aunties are fighting, everybody fighting. Like, all the adults are just fighting, and it's just like, oh, okay. Okay. Katie slowly starts to remember stuff. She like writes down the clues, what she remembers, but it's still not like all of it. And honestly, at this point, I have 0 guesses. I have absolutely no idea what the reveal is. So I'm very excited because the last part is called Truth, and there's 5 chapters. So I think they're just gonna explain what the truth is. I don't know how I feel about that because we're not really finding out the truth on our own kind of way. Like, we're not finding out as the characters finding out. I feel like with the last part, they're just gonna tell us what happened, which I don't know how I feel about it. In a mystery, I usually like finding out with the characters. For example, Good Girls Guide to Murder. We followed her through the mystery, and then when she found out who the murderer was, we found out as well. I like seeing the thought process, whereas with this one, I feel like it's less of a murder mystery and it's more like people telling her what's happening and her slowly remembering it just because she doesn't remember. Amnesia plot. I feel like this was the original Amnesia plot. But yeah, I'm kind of scared because I have 0 guesses on what's about to happen. So I guess we'll just read together. Literally, what just happened? Oh my days. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is ridiculous. If you can tell by now, I finished the book. I was so close to tears, but I didn't cry. because I was just so shocked at the ending. Like, that is not what I expected at all. Like, at all. Oh my gosh. Now I understand why people were like, have trust issues about this book. I was like so confused, and then not expect that at all. Maybe I just have poor deductive reasoning skills, I don't know. Usually I think I'm pretty good with mysteries, but oh my gosh, that's all I can say. I'm gonna do a spoiler-free like summary of my thoughts, and then I'll go into the spoilers. So if you haven't read the book and you don't want to be spoiled, I'll put up timestamps here where you can skip to so you don't get spoiled. And then in the comments, let's try and keep it as spoiler free as possible. But if you haven't read the book, I recommend not going to the comments. Just be safe. Overall, I don't know, I think I would rate it like 3 stars because I really like the characters, especially the liars. I like the themes of power and money and race, class, the family issues. I think it was executed quite well. I don't know, I feel like I said before, I think the mystery could have played out a bit differently. It is hard with an amnesia plot, but yeah, that's my main thought, I guess. Also, like I mentioned before, the writing is quite young, and yeah, it kind of takes me out of the story a little bit, but it's not bad. Like, I would recommend it because it is a crazy plot twist. Like, usually I think I'm pretty good at guessing plot twists. Maybe that's delusion, I don't know, but yeah, I definitely did not guess that. So yeah, I don't even know how to feel. Like, I was just like so shocked. But yeah, I would say it's like a solid 3 stars, 2.5, 3, just because like I don't think I would reread it, but it was good. Okay, the spoiler review. I don't have too much stuff to say. I mean, obviously at the end that they all died in the fire, which is just like, what? That is just so sad. And like when she was talking about her dogs dying in the fire, I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a like bad way to go out. And then like Johnny, Gat and Mirren went out like that, and it's just so sad. And I feel really bad for Katie because like it was her fault to an extent, but like obviously she didn't do it intentionally, and they were all very like stupid and drunk. One decision can change your whole freaking life, can change the outcome of everything. I don't know how I feel about the fairy tale stories in between. I think they feel a bit random in the book. I'm guessing it's stories Cadence wrote, but I'm so sad because like at the end, this is the part where I almost cried, was when she was explaining like what they wanted in life, and like Johnny, he was like willing to give up his like college inheritance, whatever, to have Gat in the family. Like he cared about him that much, whereas like I doubt any of the sisters would have done that. Oh, that made me cry. Like, oh, like so close to tears. I could like feel my eyes glossing over. Oh my gosh, that killed me. Yeah, he talked a lot about like how he didn't believe in God, and I feel like he had so much more to give, you know. I feel so sad. And then Mirren, like she was talking about how she just wanted, you know, like love, and like she never got that. Oh my gosh. But like Cadence being with the Littles afterwards, and the last like part of her fairy tale story, she was not alone. Like she's not the only one. She has the Littles with her. Bro, that's why Will has nightmares and Aunt Carrie walks around. Like now it makes sense, and it just like it's so much more sad. Like Will and Taft especially, it just makes me so sad. But nobody knows that like they did it intentionally, and I don't think Cadence is gonna say anything. I know there's like a sequel, I think it's a prequel actually, about the mums. They must feel guilty because like they kind of drove it in the first place, and the grandpa. But like the only good thing that came out of it really is that like the mums like forgave each other. They're not like fighting as much anymore over money and inheritance. And then at the end, Ed comes back, which is good because the grandpa was very racist. Very racist. Now it makes sense why they never answered her emails. She thought they looked the same, and why they never went anywhere when they were together. Like they were always with her. And I should have seen it coming. I don't know why I didn't. Like how it was like very foreshadowed. I don't understand why I didn't see it coming. Bit slow from my part. I don't know how to say. I don't know how I avoid spoilers for 5 years. Like, I'm very shocked. I'm really excited for the show. I feel like I might cry in the show, because just seeing it play out in real life, I feel like I might cry. Cadence's mum is Karen Scott from One Tree Hill. What the heck? In real life, obviously, not in the show. Okay, chat. I just finished the show. You might have seen the clips of me absolutely sobbing. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna say right here, the show was better than the book. I honestly wish I'd watched the show first, because the way that they did the reveal was just so much better. For some reason I thought it was 10 episodes, so I was a bit shocked that they did it at episode 8, but obviously that was the last episode, so it worked. But like the way they built up to it, the emotions were just so much higher, and I was upset in the book. It was like emotional, but it was nowhere near the level of the show. So I'm really sad. I feel like I would have experienced the show a bit better if I didn't know what was going on. So this is the one time I'm sad that I read the book first. Okay, things I liked better about the book. The main thing that I prefer in the book was Will and Johnny's relationship. Will's nightmares in the book really got to me. They were foreshadowed earlier. We knew about the nightmares before we knew about what happened at the end. I was just like, what is like, it was so sad, like once you realized what happened. I didn't include the nightmares, and I think that would have helped the emotional aspect of it so much. Also, there's a scene in the book where Johnny gives up his college funds for Gat because Harris was being racist to Gat. That was another thing in the books that really got to me, and I wish they had kept that, because I think that was a really like important part, and it showed their relationship a bit more. I wish in the show that they explored Gat's relationship with Johnny a bit more, because in the book I think they were really close, you know, they're basically brothers. Also, Mirren's relationship with her siblings, I feel like it wasn't that delved into in the show. Like in the show she kind of doesn't interact with them that much. In the books she's like there for her sisters a lot, you know, braiding their hair in Summer 16 and previous, playing games with Taft. And yeah, I really liked Mirren's relationship with her siblings, and I wish they included that. I actually really liked Gat and Katie's first interaction in the book better. It's introduced by Ed, and then he just stares at her. I don't know why, like I thought it was really cute. Like I kind of mentioned previous, I think the show was very focused on Gat and Katie and Johnny and Mirren. Like they're kind of separated, whereas I think in the book they were a lot more intertwined. I mean, Katie was always obsessed with Gat. Who wouldn't be? You find it. I think a lot of people don't understand Gat. They don't like Gat, which is crazy. Like, how are you gonna hate Gat more than Harris and even Bess? Ugh. Like, please get some help. The reason that the lies aren't like their parents is because of Gat. Like, without him, they would turn out to be like their parents, you know? Also, I don't think they touched on Cadence giving away all her things all the materialistic part of the sisters. Like, they touched on it obviously, but they didn't explicitly say it. So I think I saw some people like having a reaction like, why did they burn down the house? But the house represented embodiment of all the mums and of Harris and Tipper as well. Katie giving away all her things was a huge plot point in the books, and I think it was important. Like, I really do wish they included that, because it kind of showed her rejecting the materialism of her parents, and I think would have helped viewers understand the difference between Cadence and the Liars and their parents. But other than that, everything else was done so much better in the show, truly. Like, the casting was incredible. I think the cast had so much chemistry with each other, especially the Liars. They were so well casted. Did not like Bess in the show. I don't really remember her too much from the books. Obviously, the books are from Cadence's POV, so we don't really see much of the other moms and the other Liars. But yeah, Bess was horrible in the show. Her and Harris going at it as the worst characters, because all the other mums cared about their daughters enough, even Penny at the end, but Bess was just horrible. Like, she was a terrible mum. She did not even care for Mirren or the twins. She was blaming Mirren for her own faults, and then like, she was horrible to her sisters. She was just like the worst character other than Harris, and I'm just like, what the heck? She deserves no redemption. I'm so sorry. Me and Bess have beef. I like the things that they added. Gat's mom is stunning, by the way, but I wish they showed the grief of Gat's mom and of Ed. Also, I did not even realize there were ghosts, like, in the book as well. I thought figment of Cadence's imagination, but apparently they're ghosts. I did not realize that. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, there's ghosts on the island. Okay, I guess. The foreshadowing was crazy in the show. The pies, the 2 pies being burnt and the other one drowning. Absolutely ridiculous. Harris seemed like he cared more about the dogs than his literal grandchildren, which was crazy. I feel like Harris wasn't as evil in the books, like, at the end. I feel like he changed in the end, and then in the end of the show he's the same and worse. The vibes in the show are just so good, especially at the start. It's giving summer camp. It's just so cute, and I'm like, oh, if it just stayed like this without the ending, it would have been so good. Katie and Gat in the show had me sobbing, because, like, what do you mean they're not going to be endgame and live the rest of their lives together? Like, what do you mean? And like Johnny's storyline as well. I don't know how I feel about the whole school plotline. I don't know if this was in the in the books. I actually don't know. I mean, it makes sense with like Johnny's dad and whatnot, but he thinks that he deserved to die, which is so sad because he didn't. And like in the ocean scene, he like lets go and almost drowns as well. Oh, poor Johnny. Like, I saw a TikTok and it said, you know, Mirren could have got out of the window, Gat could have stayed at the boat, but Johnny's fate was sealed from the start. Obviously, the way that they did the fire scene was different in the books. I think Cadence was even more at fault because she freaking lit the fire on the bottom verse, which was dumb. Also, Gat wasn't part of it in the show, which I think was a good choice. I think Mirren's was a bit dumb because why didn't she just go out of the window? That was stupid. And Cadence getting the pearls was stupid as well. Those damn pearls. I don't know. But people blaming Cadence. She's definitely not at fault in the show. Like, come on. They all did it. They all literally did it. All the actors were really, really good, especially the liars. All the liars were incredible. One scene I loved in the show that they added was Ed asking Will and Johnny for permission to marry Carrie, and I just think that was so sad. Like, it was so emotional and done so well, and I really loved that scene. I thought it was so incredible. Like, Johnny's reaction to it, oh my gosh, my Jayla. my conclusion after reading both the book and the show is much, much better. I would highly recommend just watching the show, to be honest. The book was good, but it's not like a you must read the book type thing. But the show, you have to watch the show. Like, it was done so well. Anyways, that brings us to the end of this video. If you got this far, leave a comment saying who your favorite liar is. I would say mine is either Gat or Johnny. Or I like him. So I like all of them. I don't know. Maybe Gad. Oh my gosh. Side note, I'm watching the Gossip Girl reboot right now, which I never thought I would. I mean, I did want to watch it eventually, but ever since I watched Emily Allen in We Were Liars, I was like, I have to watch the Gossip Girl reboot. And she's so good in it. Like, the character's completely different to Cadence. I didn't realize her and Evan Mock were a thing in the reboot, but I actually like them together. I don't know how I feel about the plot right now. It's a bit questionable. I like all the younger characters. I think, yeah, Emily plays Audrey really good. I like Zoya, my girl Whitney Peak, who's gonna be in the Hunger Games. Isn't that crazy? Like, Emily worked with Whitney and Joseph, and they're both gonna be in the Hunger Games. Crazy. But thanks, chat, for watching. Leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.